Hello everybody, this is Fernando for the latest Ghosts and Spirits video. I thought I would mix this one in here while I'm continuing to do some of your aliens and UFOs video. This one yet again having to do with the popular subject associated with shadow people. So I've done a few of those recently. A lot of people seem to like them. They have good views, good comments as well. And then on the reddit.com website, they're from the subreddit Shadow People. I found this scary encounter that I wanted to share here. This one coming from a user who was pregnant at the time. And reading this information, you can just see why they were, in their quotes, shocked and frozen in place. Definitely some interesting stuff to share here. I'd love to hear anyone else's on local comments as well. That's something else that I'm reading on your comments too. People are posting their own experiences. I may do a video where I just want people to post all of their experiences on there, like as one group mass setting. So might do that soon, so be on the lookout for that. But it comes from a user by the name of Independent by 1673. They have a really long title, but I'm going to shorten it as I had an encounter seeing a shadow person. So let's go ahead and let's talk about that here, and then I'll give my own thoughts and opinions on it afterward. So here's what they stated. I, 23 years old female, was pregnant at the time with my first child and in my first trimester. It was close to midnight when my partner at the time and I had been laying in our bed watching a movie. I had a strong craving for peanut butter and jam, and so I had gotten up out of bed to go to the kitchen. I had been partway through laughing about something my partner had said, turning on my bedroom light and then opening my bedroom door into the dark lounge room. And as I had turned my head to watch where I was walking, I noticed a very tall, dark, shadow-like figure. It was more like a person's shape cut out of our world, and behind or inside the cut was the most darkest dark I had ever seen, darker than a shadow. There was not a 3D shape, but I could tell that it was someone standing there away from the wall. I had stopped in my bedroom doorway, and so the next couple of moments felt like it happened very quickly, but at the same time it didn't. It's still very confusing as I can't remember it disappearing. My first initial reaction was shock that someone was in my house unannounced at such a late time of night, trying to take in more detail, and so because of this, I was shocked and or frozen in place. This person had no features at all. You know, when you're looking at someone, you recognize that at least. I had that same feeling with this being, but I guess I was also confused as it had no features. But still, I just knew it was looking right at me. It felt like it was reading me. It was also throwing off feelings like it hated me or was very angry. I don't remember it moving. I recognized that it did have some arms and legs. It was standing there like I had caught it off guard. I don't remember it disappearing. I, for some effing reason, can't explain why or ignored what just happened. And then I just continued to walk through the other doorway to my kitchen. The whole time I had been making my sandwich, it felt like someone was watching me the whole entire time. I played it cool because I was like, no way that this could ever happen, but my body was still on edge. I even made my sandwich as fast as I could without it seeming suspicious. But for some reason, I wanted it to think I didn't see it. Seriously, I can't explain to you my actions, hence the post. I made the sandwich and then turned around and then walked back to my room. In fact, I left everything behind, even the effing sandwich. I just wanted to get back to my room, and this feeling was getting too intense for me to not feel uncomfortable. And so I get back to my room. My bedroom door was still open. I walked into my room, closed the door right behind me, and then just burst into tears. I felt the most scared I've ever had. I told my partner what had happened. He said I hadn't stopped, and of course, just laughed the whole thing off. It has taken me ages to calm down. This was my first ever experience, at least that I can remember. I am 31 now, and I still can't shake the experience from my head. I have no history of mental illnesses such as schizophrenia or family history of. This has not happened again ever since. I suppose I just have unanswered questions. Obviously, I don't speak to anyone about this as they will think I'm losing my mind. But what was this thing? Why did I feel its feelings? How come I seen it while I was awake? And why was it watching me? And then that's it. That's everything that this user, Independent by 1673, mentioned in their frightful encounter. So let's go ahead and let's talk about that here. First off, that seems like it's a somewhat of a pattern. I've heard of that before, and I mentioned in the videos where it's almost like if something gets caught unannounced, like off guard, then that's where they just stop, like mid-froze stance. Like it's almost like it's not something that they had planned, and all of a sudden they're caught red-handed. So what are they going to do? They're going to stand still. So that's been mentioned before in the past. Same thing with almost like the hatred associated with them. The idea that they were caught and then they're not supposed to be, like, you're not supposed to see them. And so when that happens, that makes them pissed off. And so that's the same feeling that apparently this user was having. Interesting too that this was the very first time that they had seen one, and then at the same time became the only time as well, because whatever was happening, it may have just been passing through, and then all of a sudden it got caught, and then they never really saw it ever again because it was just almost like a mistake that it was there at that location. But otherwise, I can totally feel that feeling that the user was mentioning as far as it just having pure hatred. Again, that happened to me over at the Yoakum Hospital there in Yoakum, Texas. It wasn't a shadow person, but it was definitely a ghost that hated us there. Absolutely just hated us being there, wanted us out of there as quickly as possible. I mentioned this before in some of the past videos, but whoever this ghost was, who we think it was Edward, Edwin, or Edgar, one of those three names, absolutely just followed us everywhere. And that was one of the few times I ever felt such hatred from something that I couldn't see. Like it was there in the corner just staring at us at one point, apparently arms folded, leaning against the wall, just absolutely just staring at us with pure hatred. That's the same feeling that I got there, that I imagine this user was doing as well, was feeling as well from this other party. Plus, I can't really explain though as far as why this user wanted to pretend like everything was, in their words, cool. Like in other words, they were just doing their sandwich while at the same time mindful of something just staring at them with such hatred from the other side. So maybe they were just trying to do it to not freak out, to not be able to, I don't know, go crazy or something else or overreact. But clearly it got to a point on their end where this user just decided, I'm out of here. And then when that happened, they finally ended up just bursting into tears as soon as they got away into the quote unquote safety of their bedroom. But let me know what you guys think about this weird but frightful encounter, about this one-off instance involving this shadow person. And again, any local comments, anyone have experiences of your own, post them below. All right, everybody. Thanks again as always. Take care.